Hi, in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at Emacs 29's package VC install option. This will allow you to install packages from places like GitHub so that you don't have to use an external package like Straight or Quelpa to install non-Melpa packages. So what I'm going to be doing is installing Compile Media by Sacha Chua, which is a repository that contains a bunch of eLisp functions that she uses to make FFmpeg commands for combining videos. Sounds pretty cool, so let's see if we can get this installed. So what we're going to do is come up here and copy the URL. We're going to switch to Emacs. I'll just open a scratch buffer, and we're going to run package vc install and give it a second. And what you'll notice is it's actually coming up with a prompt here to install packages from Melpa. But that's not what we want. So what we're going to do is paste in the URL we just copied by pressing Ctrl Y, pressing return. Okay, we'll ignore that error. And now if we switch back to our Emacs init.el, what you'll see is that there has been some new code added. So if we have a look down here, see if I can make this a bit bigger for you. What we've got here is this new block of code: package vc selected packages, compile media, vc backend git URL, and then the URL to the git repository. What you'll also notice up here is under package selected packages, compile media has now been added as a package in that list. So how does this actually work? Well, this is about as far as I've experimented so far. If I can just get this lighter to work. But if you run Emacs package VC, what you'll see is a list of options that you can actually use. So let's have a look at that. So package VC, what we'll see is install, rebuild, upgrade, checkout, upgrade all, prepare patch, install from checkout, and install selected packages. We'll just run the package VC install option, giving it the URL, and we can see that it's actually installed that package. So I presume you can do package VC upgrade just to upgrade the packages from GitHub. I'm guessing, though I'm not completely sure, that when you run package package upgrade all, because compile media is listed amongst package selected packages, I'm guessing that it might sort of pull in this section, automatically update it, but I can't be 100% sure. So those are some of the options. So let's see if we can actually get some of this code to work in here. So if we have a look at the compile media.el file here and have a little look through, and let's make this a bit bigger. There were some interesting options. Here's a really interesting one: compile media timestamps to milliseconds time string. And what this does is this takes a time format in sexagesimal format, which is hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds, and then converts it to milliseconds. And the reason you need to do this is if you're trying to manipulate time codes, they subtract a end point from a start point to get a duration. You actually have to convert from hours, seconds, milliseconds to milliseconds or seconds, calculate the time, and then reconvert it back into hours, minutes, and seconds. And I've actually done this with awk and some FFmpeg scripts I have, but I thought this was really interesting to be able to do it directly from within Emacs. So I haven't played around with this at all, so this is me just hacking about. But what I'm just wondering is if we can actually run this as a function. So time string, can I put in hours, minutes, and seconds as an option here, maybe in double quotes or something? Hours, let's give it 5 minutes. Hours, minutes, seconds. And this may not work. Void function, compile media. Let's have a look. Let me just do my reload. Hang on. Reload init. And see if that comes up. I'm probably not doing this correctly, not reading the documentation or anything. Let's see if it needs to be without timestamps. I said this is me just mucking about, not sort of reading how this works. But there's some interesting things in here. That if you have a look at this page up here, there's a little example of actually combining some video and audio sources into a new clip, by actually specifying a start time and a stop time for the clip. So what you got here is a sort of bunch of eLisp code with a sort of list down here of sources and files with start and end times. And this is then used to actually create a new file from those clips. So I said I haven't played around with this at all. So here's another one. Compile media strings to string to milliseconds, convert seconds to milliseconds. Lots of interesting stuff in here. As I haven't played around with it at all. It just piqued my interest because I like FFmpeg and Emacs, and so put the two together, and that's going to pique my interest. But as I said, I haven't played around with this at all. It's just using this as a demo. So what am I missing here? I'm probably doing something really stupid. But just looking at the code, I was just not knowing any eLisp at all. I'm just presuming here we got the time string. Does that need to be? Sometimes you forget the actual format things need to be in. But anyway, that was just a quick example when I couldn't actually get the code to work, but you can see it actually has installed the package. And if I come across to config Emacs helper, what you'll see is the name of the package is compile media. And if I come up here, you will see compile media is actually a package that has been installed into the helper directory inside of Emacs. So you can see here compile media. You can see it's actually pulled everything down. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is, can you get this to work with a single file, as it were? Well, is there a particular format that the Git repository has to be in for this to work? So, for example, what I mean is, I'll come back here, Lisp. There's a bit of code from Prot that I use with EWW that allows you to filter articles by tag. So if I come across, what you'll see here is if I just update this, you can see here these are all tagged things like general, Reddit, YouTube, NUFC. So what this proccommon.el file allows you to do is actually filter the results here by the tag. So if I press S, I can now filter stuff just by YouTube, like that, and I can clear it as well. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because what I do is actually manually download this proccommon.el file into my config Emacs Lisp directory and then actually source it. So if I just come back, prot common, yeah, require prot common. So you can see this is the prot common bit of code that I'm sort of using from that file. And what I was wondering was, instead of manually downloading that proccommon.el file, can you actually use this package VC install option to install a single file from GitHub? So that would be quite interesting. There are occasions where people will put up a single file like this, not actually in a project, or you just want to pull a single file down. So that'd be something that'd be interesting to look at. See if I can actually find that file. Emacs common.el. Okay, can't remember where I got it from here, but there's a list on this page. There may be something in here as well. Let's have a look. You can actually see is where the Emacs directory. Oh, there we go. Prop modules, was it modules? Yeah, he's got a load of different modules here. It may have been the other one, prot lisp, I think. Proccommon.el. Okay, so what I was wondering is, can you actually install this single file? And if you can, would you need to give it this link or the raw link? So you can see here, this is the standard GitHub layout for a page that shows you the code with the line numbers, everything. What you've also got, you'll probably know, is the raw mode, which will actually give you a direct link to the file. So obviously, if you just try to download this page and put it in Emacs, this is a HTML page, and that wouldn't work. So you use the raw link here. So what I'm just wondering is, can we take this raw link and actually install that? So let's have a look. And we close that proccommon, and let's see if we can do this. Let me switch to Scratch Buffer actually. Okay, so package VC install, see if that will work, and then package to fetch. Okay, so yeah, just as I suspected, that there may be a let's see if this works. Unknown package to fetch, yeah. So what it looks like is, you can't use this to install a single file hosted on GitHub, as it were. It's got to be a complete repository. So it's actually got to be like this. You don't actually need to put in the .git, but you can only pull down a single repository as opposed to a single file from that's stored on a Git repository, if that makes sense. But it's still pretty useful, and as I said, it will allow you to install packages that aren't on Melpa or Elpa and are hosted on GitHub. And this is really handy because a lot of the time, you know, people will have knocked up a package, but it won't have actually been released on Melpa. So typically what you need to do is you either end up manually downloading the EL files and putting them in your Lisp directory. And the issue with that is that you kind of got to manually go down and re-download a new version, and you haven't really got a way of checking if there is a new version available apart from doing it manually. So the other option, as I said, if you were installing a whole repository, what you could do is actually use Melpa or Elpa. Let me just see if I can come up with an example. So Emacs app launcher. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you can see here I actually covered this in a previous video. So what we've got down here is some examples about how you can use straight or use package to actually install this. So Zed, what I was doing in the video demo I did about this package was manually downloading the app launcher.el package file and putting it in my Lisp directory, and then doing a require. And it said what you'll find on a lot of these things is something like using straight use package, or I think there's another thing called quelpa or something. So typically you have to install a third an external package so that you can pull down things from GitHub. And I think a lot of these these alternative package managers kind of replace segments of the built-in package manager with Emacs. And I think things like straight package, let me see, package list packages. So typically with the built-in package manager, you can do stuff like package list packages, and it will give you a list of all the packages, the versions, and the description. Looking at a video from System Crafters, I think that straight actually replaces some of the internals of the built-in package manager, and so you don't actually get this list package layout, so you can't actually search easily all the packages that are installed. So that's a disadvantage of using something like straight or something like quelpa. You've got to learn a whole new thing, and it may change how your the built-in package manager works. So what I'm going to do now is actually I'll install this package and get it going with some code that I had from a previous demo. What I'm going to do is copy the URL, come across and do package vc install, paste that in. Okay, you can see here package install version revision, we've got the SHA sum, I think that is. And now if we come across to our init.el, what we'll find down here, if I scroll down a bit, okay, what you'll see now is this package vc selected packages has got 2 items in it. And one thing that I find with eLisp is sometimes the syntax can be a bit difficult to sort of get your head around sometimes when you're sort of having a look at what's going on. So what we got here is package vc selected packages. When you see this up here, this little thing, that's saying this is a list, I believe. So this is a list of packages, and what we've got here is the 2 packages we've installed, app launcher and compile media. And you'll see up here the first, we've got a little quote up here next to the first one, but not the second one. So that's what I was just kind of trying to get across, is sometimes you think, oh, I need to add more quotes, or more brackets or braces or whatever to get rid of these errors why it's not working. So this is kind of handy actually doing it manually like this, because then you'll get an idea of the syntax that this sort of function requires. So rather than you having to manually copy and paste stuff in, going package vc install, putting in the URL, once you know the actual format, you can actually sort of just put this block of code in here. So this would be the package vc selected packages block of code with the list up here, the app launcher, vc backend, git, the URL. You'll notice it doesn't have a .git extension. I don't know if you put one in, if it's going to make any difference, but you can just leave it off, it's fine. And the other thing that you'll notice is that these package vc selected packages are then added to package selected packages here. app launcher, compile media, and they will appear in .config Emacs helper. So that's, if we come up here, we can see app launcher, and we can see compile media. What I'll do is, just to actually demo this is working, I will grab some code for the app launcher here and whack it in and show you it in action. Just come down to the bottom here to make it easier. Okay, so this is the app launcher bit of code. So let me come across to the app launcher. Instead, I covered this in a previous video, and basically what it does is it lets you launch GUI applications that have a desktop file on your system. So on GNOME, you know, if you press the keyboard shortcut, you'll get this heads-up display with all the applications listed on your system here that have .desktop files, and those are usually installed in user local share, or in your user local share applications, or in your home directory in local share applications. And basically this code will create a sort of little run launcher. So what I'm just going to do is bring this out of full screen so I can actually show you this. Okay, so what I need to do is just evaluate these bits of code down here. Okay. And now if I run Emacs run launcher with meta-x, Emacs run launcher, what you'll notice is I've got this little pop-up come up here. You can see here Firefox files. If I just type files, you can see it opens the files directory there. And what I've got is a bit of code to actually run this from the command line. So what I'll do is actually run this from the command line. So Emacs client E, Emacs run launcher. And what this does is basically the name of the function is called Emacs run launcher. You can see here defun Emacs run launcher interactive. Then we've got with selected frame, make frame name Emacs run launcher. We hide a lot of the elements that would come up with this frame, like the mini buffer, toolbar, menu bar, all that kind of stuff. And so when I run this, what you'll see is it's actually opening the run launcher there, and I can search for stuff. So I don't know that many things. So let's see, Chrome. See, what I've noticed, I mean, this is why I'm not actually using this application launcher, is because I found that it wasn't working with Firefox or Chrome. But you can see it was actually opening other applications. It was opening the files here. So you can see it's opening the files, but if I run the same command and try and launch Firefox or Chrome, it doesn't actually work. So that's why I'm not actually using this application, this bit of Emacs code, is because for some reason the way that it parses the desktop files for some applications doesn't seem to work, and it doesn't actually launch them, which is a bit of a drawback with an application launcher. But what I just wanted to do is actually show you this is actually installed as a package in Emacs, and we can actually run code from the package. So I said, dead easy to actually use this new functionality in Emacs 29. Let me just scroll back down here and come out the app launcher thing. So right, if you type package-vc, these are the options again. You've got package VC installed, which I showed you, I haven't been through any of the other options down here, but I'm guessing, as I said, you can do package VC upgrade all. Okay, and so that's just up. That's you can see there. What it seems to be doing is like a git pull on those Git repositories to pull down the latest version. If I do package upgrade all, so you've got what you've got is you've got package VC upgrade all, and you've got package upgrade all. I believe that is a new option in Emacs 29. So you can just do package upgrade all. Just be interesting to see 3 packages to upgrade. Yeah. What I was just interesting to see is if that would pull down. Okay, see, yeah, VC package compile media installed. Yeah, so it does. So by the looks of it, we just come back to single window. What I wanted to check was that if you ran package upgrade all, would it upgrade the VC packages as well? And by the looks of it, it does. So the way that this works is when you run package VC install, it will add this block of code here. These 3 lines, well, it'll be 2 lines if you just added one thing. Package VC selected packages, the name of the package, the type of the backend, in this case Git, and then the URL to the repository. It then adds those VC selected packages to the package selected packages list up here. You can see these are all things that I've actually got this listed twice. Ah, look, that's interesting. Look, we've got compile media, app launcher, compile media, app launcher, compile media listed multiple times. I wonder why that is. That may be because I sort of, ran a few commands, but it's interesting to note that. So let's just delete that. But yeah, basically what seems to happen is when you run package selected packages, it will install everything in this list and pull stuff from this list as well. So what I could try doing now is let's actually delete those packages and try and sort of reinstall them. So if I come across to config Emacs helper, I'm going to delete these packages. Right, so we deleted those. So what we want to do is we want to kind of simulate an example where we're setting up Emacs on a new machine. We've copied this config across, and typically when you copy a new config across for Emacs to another machine, and you start it up, it's going to prompt you, do you want to install all your selected packages? And you click yes, and it installs everything. What I want to do is actually check if the packages aren't installed. If I run package VC selected packages, install VC selected packages or what have you, will it pull them down? And also, if they're not installed and I install stuff from this list, will it automatically pull them in? So let's do package VC. We've got upgrade, we've got install, rebuild, upgrade, checkout, install selected packages. So that's the option we want. Package VC install selected packages. Yeah. So nothing seemed to happen there. Let's have a look. No. So package VC install selected packages. So nothing's happening there. I don't know if it's because I need to reload Emacs. Let's try reloading my init, see if that helps. Okay, try and running that again. Right, okay. Right. Yeah, so that's worked. So what I did was, let me scroll down here again. So what I did was I deleted the 2 packages that had been installed with the package, package VC install option. I deleted them from my elpa directory. I then reloaded my init, so that would be like load file .config like that, and basically I have a bit of code in there that I pinched from Sacha Chua's site, so that it creates a function that's called reload init, and basically it just does a load file on that init or el file to reload configuration for Emacs. And once I'd done that, it then picked up, okay, those packages aren't installed. So then when I ran the package VC installed selected packages, it installed them. So what we want to do now is the same thing, but actually testing whether we can do it from the package selected packages. You can see it again here. This is coming up twice. I'm not sure why this is. It seems to be that what's happening is whenever you add stuff to here, a new VC selected packages, either by adding it to the list or running the function interactively, it adds those package names up here. But as you can see, it's adding them multiple times. So there may be a sort of some kind of issue with you need to do this in a particular way to prevent that. So what we're going to do is we'll delete the duplicates again. Delete the packages. So app launcher, file media. Right, so we delete those. We'll reload my reload init. Okay. So what I want to do is actually check if I run these, if I run package install selected packages, is it going to pick up that these aren't installed even though these 2 are listed? And also the next thing to try is deleting those and having the packages deleted as well and trying it. So package install selected packages. Packages that are not available to the rest are installed maybe need to package refresh contents. Okay, ms package refresh contents. So this is just me kind of trying out all the different permutations of how this works basically. So let's try package install selected packages. Okay, so what we got here is we've got the selected packages listed here, but I have deleted them from the elpa directory, but they are still listed here. So they're still listed here. And when I'm running package install selected packages, it's saying that they're listed here, but it's not then kind of triggering it to pull the stuff in and update it. So let's try deleting these. That's not going to work because once you delete them, then they're not in that list. So you're not going to be able to do package selected packages. So let's just delete those. So I think the way you need to do it is you'd have to install the selected packages, and then they get added to the list. Once they're in the list, and you do a package, upgrade all, it will update them. So, right, let's try this again. So, my reload in it, package refresh, contents. Okay. So what we're going to do is package VC install selected packages. Okay, and ignore these errors. We can now scroll back down here and have a look at this, and you can see they have now been added back into here, and they're back in our elpa directory. So why are the package names sometimes being duplicated here? What's the thing that's actually triggering that kind of bug, as it were? So if I do package install selected packages, all your packages already installed. So the issue is if you delete, if you've pulled this in like I have here, it's added that in. If you delete these two packages and you unpackage selected packages, install selected packages, it's not going to pull those in. You have to run the package VC install selected packages. So let me do that again. So I think what you might need to do is, if you're kind of having issues, is delete these from here. All right, so delete those from there. Delete compile media, app launcher, fresh, fresh contents. Right, so that's all good. So package VC install selected packages, install from checkout. I wonder what upgrade all does. If you haven't got them actually installed, what does upgrade all do? Done upgrading packages. Okay. So that actually doesn't do anything. So I just wanted to check all the different permutations of, if you've done one thing, what does this option do? So what we need to do is package VC install selected packages. Maybe I need to do a reload in it. Reload in it. Package refresh contents. Okay. Then package VC install selected packages. Should prompt me. Okay. Yeah. That's now installed them. What I just want to see is, how do I trigger the bug where these are coming up twice? So if I run package install selected packages, should say everything's installed. Package upgrade all. Okay, 2 packages to upgrade. Yeah. Error, file is not under version control. Okay. So sometimes you've got to break things to find out what doesn't work. Package upgrade all. Sort of try and trigger these bugs. Okay, 2 packages to upgrade. So we've got the app launcher and we've got compile media there. But now we're getting this this kind of bug where it's not actually prompting us that we've got package to upgrade, but it's not actually doing anything. So package VC, that's all good. Okay, so just going through all the kind of different options about how to get around some of these issues. So maybe if we do package VC upgrade all, done upgrading packages, package install selected packages, the packages are installed, package upgrade all. So it said it's popping us to upgrade these two packages. Error, file is not under version control. So I've obviously sort of triggered some sort of bug here. So let's go through and just delete those. Oop, I don't want to delete that. And I'm gonna have a go. So I said I just want to basically see how these two kind of work together. Failed to download elper archive. Oh, great. So me blundering around running all these different commands may break things. Package refresh contents. Okay. But yeah, I'm managing to break stuff. All your packages to install. Package upgrade all. VC upgrade all. Package upgrade all. So what I might do is actually just kill Emacs and right, so we're getting not under version control. So I'm just going to close all these windows for a second and then quit Emacs. And just see if it's an issue with all the stuff I've been blundering about with. I may just p-kill Emacs here if it's not going to. Okay. Right, so package upgrade all. I just want to see if this will fix. Okay, no packages to upgrade. So that issue with the thing where it's saying there's two packages to upgrade. Let me just check. Have I still got those? I deleted those. Yeah. So config emacs init.el. So basically, as I said, what I'm trying to see is all the different situations of, you know, you've got stuff listed there, but you haven't got the things installed. How's that going to behave? So what we want to do is package VC install selected packages. Okay, and does that add those again? No, I'm not triggering that bug. So we got all that done there. Let's see, package upgrade all. And we're going to trigger that bug. So it's saying there's two packages to upgrade. File is not under version control. So I'm obviously triggering some kind of bug. And I just kind of want to narrow down what it is, basically. From media, app launcher, delete those. So we haven't got any of that in there. Let's restart Emacs again. I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes it's hanging with reloading the system CTL. Okay, so right. What we're going to do is package, install those. Should then add them to the list. Right, so that's added those to the list. Is it? No, see, it hasn't added them to the package VC install selected packages. Those are installed. but it's not now added them to the selected packages. That's a bit weird. Package, do package refresh contents. I suppose you can always just manually add the things in. So 2 packages. Right. Right, now it's seemed to have done it. Okay. So after a bit of faffing about, that should have upgraded those packages and added them back into here. Is it? Yeah, compile media app launcher. So me going through all those different permutations there, probably driving you nuts. Is just to show you that running package install selected packages will actually interact with this, but sometimes it can be a sort of bit flaky if you delete things, and you could see how I had to refresh the package contents, and then sometimes it would prompt me for to install a couple of packages, and then it wouldn't install them and do anything. So you might have to faff about sort of running a couple of different functions or something to actually get around a few bugs that I managed to trigger. So I haven't managed to trigger the bug where it was adding in the names multiple times there. I'm not sure what that was. I think maybe it's if you're kind of like running package VC install selected packages and then package install selected packages or something, there may be some kind of conflict that arises that triggers some of those bugs. But this is really useful, as I said, because basically it will allow you to install things that aren't on Melpa or Elpa from a GitHub repository. But again, you can't install a single file from that GitHub repository. It's got to be the entire GitHub repository and all the files in there. So you can't just cherry pick an individual EL file you want to pull down from GitHub by the looks of things, but you can pull down a whole repository. And again, the format that this actually adds is this list here, package VC selected packages, the name of the package, the type of the VC backend. So this is where the VC comes from. Version control, basically. So this is pulling stuff down from version controlled repositories. We got the URL without the .git extension, and then it adds these package names up here under package selected packages. And after a bit of faffing about, trying all these different permutations, it does seem like you can run package upgrade all, and it will then launch Git from within Emacs in the directory for Elpa. So you can see here, yeah. So if I do show hidden files here, what you'll see is there is a Git directory in this app launcher directory, and that is because this has been pulled down with Git. So what happens is when you run package upgrade all or package install selected packages, I'm not sure about package install select packages. I'd have to go through and test that one as well, but it will basically come into the directory for that package and run Git and pull down the latest version from the GitHub repository and actually give you the version number and the revision in a, I believe it's a SHA 512 or 256 output, so you can actually see exactly what version you're on. So when you, as I said, when you run the upgrade package, upgrade all, what it's going to do is, because compile media and app launcher are listed here and also listed in this package VC selected packages list down here, what it seems to do is it will come into these directories here. In the elpa directory, it will run git, it will pull down the latest version. So once you've actually got these set up, by the looks of things, it will be integrated into the package selected packages list, which allows you to then upgrade all the melpa packages and elpa packages, but also the packages installed with the package VC install option. So you don't have to run, package VC upgrade all and then run package selected packages, upgrade all. You can just run the one command and it should take care of everything. But as I said, if you're having any issues, you may have to do a little bit of faffing about, like I did in the video, to actually get around some of these bugs that can be triggered, where they prompt you to upgrade 2 packages and then say they're not under version control, or that sort of thing. And so I haven't managed to trigger the bug where it's come up twice, but this is just something that I just thought was really interesting and allows you to use packages that for whatever reason aren't on melpa or elpa, and you don't want to get into using something like straight or quelpa, I think it's called, with a Q, just to install a package from GitHub. And it said the other reason why this is good, I haven't got Firefox open. The other reason this is good is because typically, if you're not using straight or quelpa or something like that, what you're probably going to do is actually just manually download the EL files. As I said, I'll come back here to my Lisp directory. Have I got? Let me just check if it's in the early init. Yeah, okay. So in my early-init.el, what I've got here is add to list load path config Emacs Lisp, and in that Lisp directory, I've got that proc.common.el file. So typically, if I was going to install a package manually, what I'd do is download the Lisp files, put them in this directory, and then load them. But so the issue with that is that you haven't got an easy way to upgrade them, and you've got no way of knowing if the packages are actually being upgraded apart from manually going and checking, which is a bit of a pain. So again, this won't allow you to pull down a single file, cherry pick a single file from a Git repository, but you can use it to pull down a whole Git repository of a package that you're interested in and have it integrated into Emacs so that it will be upgraded along with all of the other system packages. So that's pretty much as far as I've got with this, playing around with this, but as I said, it looks really interesting. I say the app launcher package I was showing you, for some reason, has issues with some desktop files. I showed you it wasn't launching Firefox or Chromium, which is a bit of a drawback with an app launcher. So that's why I'm not actually using it, but it was just a package that I wanted to use it as a demo and actually show you that it could be installed from Git, and we could actually call the the function and get it to work. I couldn't get the compile media package to work because I haven't actually played around and had a shifty through all the code, but there's some interesting things in there. But there isn't actually, apart from the one example on the GitHub page, there isn't a lot of documentation because it's just a personal package by Sacha Chua. But I'd recommend having a look at some of her packages. So GitHub, well, I've actually got it bookmarked. Okay, Sacha Chua. There's the GitHub, and I'll put the blog page up as well. Okay. The blog, okay. So some interesting things. Subbed. Okay, subbed. Compile media and subbed waveform. So these are really interesting packages. Subbed actually is available on Melpa now, I believe. And basically what this is it's a package that allows you to edit subtitles files from within Emacs and actually be able to control the video by using mpv.el. So you can actually open a video with mpv.el and control it with Emacs and edit the subtitles file in real time and have all the changes displayed sort of in MPV here, so you can see you can actually edit the subtitles and actually see what's going on. You can adjust the position and everything, and this works with SRT subtitles, which is a sort of standard, and then you've got VTT subtitles, which is really interesting because that's used for captions for YouTube. So you can actually use this to create VTT captions files that you could then upload to YouTube to go with your video. The next one was the here's basically some of the features before I jump to the next one. How you can basically jump around within the subtitles files, just the time code and all this kind of stuff. Integration with MPV. So this one is on Melpa, and we got the compile media one here, which I actually couldn't get to work because I haven't read through the code and played around with it. But this is basically a sort of example of using Emacs to compile multiple sources into a new video by specifying start and end times for the clips, which is really clever. The next one, so this one, compile media, this one isn't on Melpa or Elpa. And then the next one you've got down here is subed-waveform. And what this is a package that displays waveforms next to the current subtitles in a subbed buffer. So what this basically does is when you're editing subtitles files, it's actually going to show you a waveform of that chunk of audio. So you can see here, like someone's just starting talking and starting talking and then stopping talking there. So you could use that waveform to actually adjust the position of the subtitle so that you get it bang on accurate. And you can see here, this one is not available as a package. I think it needs to update this. But this is another one to have a look at. There's also waveform. Oops, wrong button. Waveform, subed-waveform. I think there's another one just called waveform. Yeah. And this is something else you could actually also have a look at. I don't think this is on Elpa or Melpa, so this is another package that you can install using package vc install Basically what this does is this creates sort of a sort of waveform, and you can actually click around here in the waveform and set points, and it will be sort of added as a point in a subtitles file, I believe. So it's a way of actually being able to see a audio waveform of a video and actually click in the waveform to set points that kind of correspond to talking points in the video, and it's going to sort of like set them all down here. Very, very cool. I had a little play around with it, couldn't quite get my head around it, but I just wanted to give a heads up to some packages that are really interesting that aren't on Melpa, that you could actually use this Emacs 29 package VC install option to install and play around with. And if you're interested in audio and video and Emacs, then these are some packages that are definitely worth checking out. And I believe a lot of these packages here, all these packages here, are used for Emacs configure conference talks. Basically, these are what are used to actually caption all the videos and actually convert all the videos for the Emacs conferences. There's a whole blog post up here on Sacha's site. You've got the Emacs news down here. Actually, I did. Yeah, there's one of my videos. Yeah. But if you have a look here, here's some interesting stuff about Embark. I believe it's further down. There's a whole section on how she creates the videos, time zones, converting time zones. But there's a section down here, I believe, on how she creates the videos. Maybe on the next page. Of course it is. Well, somewhere down here, there is a really interesting article about, if I can find it, on how she used that compile media package to it's somewhere on this site. There is a good article on how she uses those compile media packages to create news. But anyway, I'm not going to be able to find it now. But have a look at Sacha's site and some of these packages. So I'll put links to all these. I'll leave that up there so I can make a link of it under the video. So I'll put a link to all this under the video. Also, if you search for Emacs package VC install, there's an interesting article up here by Tony Zorman, and it's actually got a little explanation of how some of this works, and also a bit of wrapper code that he's knocked up to get around some issues that he didn't like with how this package, this new option works. So I'll put links to this under the video. Hope that helps you install more packages on Emacs that aren't on Elpa or Melpa, and some of the ones that are worth having a look at. Definitely have a look at some of these packages by Sacha Chua, waveform-el, subbed. This is on Melpa, so if I just come across package list packages, was it SUED? Oh, I thought that was listed. I thought that was actually mentioned somewhere. This was on subbed was on quelpa, but not to worry. If it's not, you can actually install this. So this is the package that's used for editing subtitle files, and as I said, this is, I believe, what is used by Sacha to caption all the files for the Emacs conferences. We got the compile media. What I'll actually do is compile media. Maybe that links to the blog post. Okay. Yeah, you may have to search around for it. Yeah, but sometimes if you search for the name of the package, Sacha Chua or Emacs compile media, you may get a couple of links. I think that's just the GitHub repository again. Yeah, but anyway, that was compile media, as I said, which looks really interesting by allowing you to specify clips from videos to be merged into a new clip, basically. And then we got subed-waveform, which kind of adds this little waveform next to subtitles, so you can actually see the exact chunk of audio that's actually being used for that subtitle section. Then we got her site and this article by Tony Zorman. So I'll put links to all this under the video and have a play around with it. I just wanted to show you some bugs that I come across with how it all works and how hopefully to get around them if you're having any issues. So this is only for Emacs 29 and above, but as I said, if Emacs 29 is not available in your repository, I have actually made a video on how you can compile Emacs from source with pure GTK for Wayland's native Wayland support, and also Tree Sitter. In the example, I was using Fedora 38, but the package names may be different on your distribution, but the process should be the same. So you can install Emacs. I'm running Emacs 30. It takes about less than half an hour, maybe about 20 minutes. Bit longer on older machines. So on a Dell XPS 15 with 16 gig of RAM, compiling Emacs 30 took me about 20 minutes or so, and most of that time was actually downloading the Emacs repository. So it doesn't take a lot of time to compile Emacs so that you will have these new features. As I said, on an older MacBook Air 2011 with 4 gig of RAM, I think it took about 40 minutes or something to compile Emacs. But I've been running Emacs 30 for quite a while now, and all these new features are really handy. So check this one out. Package VC install will allow you to install packages from GitHub without using something like Straight or Quelpa or Use Package. You can just use this new feature that's built into Emacs 29. That's all for now, and hope that helps out.